a subliminal pursue kwa particular. What you wish you are is what we are. Kila mara kushock the culture, jadisha how deep you are, how sick you are.
Niaje sana kwa sana album reviews. Karibu sana to another album review. Kama wewe ni a returning subscriber ama viewer kama kawa, shukran sana kwa your support. Even the first time uko hapa, karibu sana tu sana kwa sana. Shukran for wanting to check this album review out. Leo ni day 15 of the music writer exercise aka MWE, a concept iliyoanzishwa na an American music critic anaitwa Gary Suarez back in 2015. The idea ni kila siku February sikiza an album hujawahi sikiza before, alafu andika a tweet about it. Nimeifanya tangu 2019, huu ni mwaka wangu wa 4 kuifanya, kisha since last year niliamua kufanya first listen reviews of each project nitasikiza, Kenyan projects only. Kisha hizi videos nazi-release on the corresponding days in March. So if you're watching this siku ina premiere, kama wewe ni that one person, asante sana kama kawaida, shukran. Vile nimesema leo ni day 15th February 2022, saini 8:55 PM. As the title states, tuko hapa for a review of an album by Powerslide, a punk rock trio. Hii ni debut album yao, Cheshire Grin, ilikuwa released back in April of 2019. Hii ni a group that nilikam across randomly nikitafuta Kenyan punk on YouTube. I first encountered them kwa an interview. I mentioned this kwa Mziki ya Wiki, a weekly blog segment where muandika kuhusu ngoma nimesikiza during the week na nikapenda, and the history ya mimi ku encounter the group. I talked about them kwa Mziki ya Wiki article siku nilifeature a release of theirs ya 2021, Darkness is My Home. Kwa the interview waliongelea their latest works. Hiyo time walikuwa medrop hiyo single Darkness is My Home, and nilisikia a few singles of theirs 2021 as well. Kwa the interview walikuwa na mention kuhusu transition yao and getting into metalcore. Listening to Darkness is My Home na the other singles, hiyo ndio direction their new works ziko in. This is back in 2019 and this is a punk rock album. Acha at this point pia ni mention something I'll be mentioning hii wiki because nasikiza albums za hiyo genre. Rock is not my forte. Nimesikiza rock sporadically throughout miaka yangu ya kuexist since primary school, years and years ago, lakini sijai get completely immersed in the genre. So a few months back ndio nimeanza kuji-immerse purposefully in the genre na the subgenres. So hii si forte yangu as compared to the other genres that musikiza. Kwa hivyo mnisamehe, kwa hivyo tafadhali. Vile nimemention, hizo singles zao nilisikia za 2021 fall under metalcore, alafu this being a project that came out way before 2021, rather 2 years before 2021, walikuwa still centered on punk. At this point, acha pia ni mention, tukifanya hizi reviews kwa hii channel na criteria hukuwa na aspects tatu: production na musicality, concept na idea, na the content and themes of a project. Powerslide's debut album iko na 2 tones to it. Kuna the aggressive, energetic songs, kisha kuna the smoother, softer songs. This is coming out kwa the album through the song arrangements individually, kisha ukiangalia vile zimekuwa sequenced and the thematic concerns of those particular songs matching the aggression na the hard nature of a song, and then matching the smoother, softer nature of a song as well, and the delivery speaks to the same correspond na the energy, the mood of the instrumentation na what the song generally demands. Ndio kenye tunapata therefore from the title itself, Cheshire Grin, inayotoka from adventures za Alice in Wonderland. Then from that kuna saying ku green like a Cheshire cat. So the idea here, this concept ya a mischievous smile, a mischievous grin, carrying through kwa the album, especially ukiangalia the titles of the songs first, then as you get into the themes of the songs, kuna this idea ya mischief yenye unapata na the concept ya something beneath what unaona kwa surface level. Though acha pia niseme the concept in itself, while ina come out kwa some of the songs, be it in the instrumentation, be it in the vocal delivery, ama kitu as basic and as surface level as the titles, ukiangalia the overall album, kuna some songs that doesn't bring that out. Pia hakuna a single unifying narrative that the album ina portray kuanzia mwanzo hadi mwisho. Una feel wametumia the overall idea ya Cheshire Grin ku create the album, and you have songs that fit into the concept, lakini hakuna narrative moja that unifies the entire album. Tunapata maudhui tofauti from mental health na mental illness to politics to their creed as Powerslide, what it is they stand for, what it is wako hapa kufanya, kisha ideas za identity na where you sit in your society na what you stand for, kile unataka kufanya na kujidefine. Ideas za self definition zina come out, ideas za relationships na love are also present for these songs. The album inaanza na touching on mental health. The opening song is the suicide song kwa this 33-minute 10-song album. Ina touch upon feelings za emptiness, kusikia voices in your head, kufeel disillusioned na life na kila kitu yenye ina happen. Ina start off na smoother guitar chords and a bass line before it shifts, na it brings home your idea ya feeling empty na void kwa the instrumentation as it builds up, na kuna vitu kama drums coming in and more aggressive lead guitar instrumentation, and that builds up the idea of the song. However, acha niseme something that I've noted, and it happens a number of times kwa the album, especially kwa the suicide song, a song that is supposed to be this emotional, sentimental, in-depth, dark song, and it transfer hizo feelings to you as a listener, while the instrumentation ina manage to capture the vocal delivery, especially kwa the verses, not so kwa the choruses ni lacking na ina fall short na high connect. There is something missing kwa the delivery ku capture hizo hisia na ku convey hiyo mood iko meant ku convey. Hiyo disconnect kwa the vocal delivery, as you state, ina happen mara kadhaa kwa the album. Then after that, nikiangalia something interesting towards the end of the suicide song, kuna orchestral keys that zina play. Nimeongelea how the instrumentation ina manage ku deliver hiyo emotion ya the song. Then the last song kwa hii album, Kings and Queens, even Kings and Queens bow down to her beauty. The song pia brings again hiyo feeling yenye ilikuwa kwa the opening song towards the end ya orchestral arrangements. Kuna orchestral sounding keys na strings. Tone yake ina fall kwa the smoother and softer songs that nimemention, as well as hizi ngoma that ziko centered on love. It even largely has an acoustic feel, which ilianza ilikuwa a different feeling from what the entire album has been up until hiyo point. Ilianza ilikuwa na a pop feel, a soft rock feel, an acoustic. Hata ilinipeleka to thought ya Afrofusion. Ilikuwa najiambia this sounds so different from the rest of the album, na that acoustic feeling na feeling ya soft rock na a softer tone ina carry out through the entire album. Then immediately after the suicide song ni Monsters and Men. I believe hii nimeisikiza on their YouTube channel. I've even watched the video. More aggressive, compelling melody, something that na feel ni a strength of theirs kwa some of these songs. Napenda how the chorus is written na some of the lyrics. Then the darker, aggressive part of the song as we get into one of the last verses before to bridge into the chorus, hiyo kuscream monsters, monsters, monsters over and over brings in hiyo angle ya monsters. The shrieking, shrill vocal delivery ni a technique that imetumika kwa these songs, especially the darker ones na the ones that are more vibrant and carry more aggression na mystery. Masters and Men, The Kid, Cheshire Grin, the title track, Do Something Stupid, Serpents in Your Heart, they all have that delivery. Ukiangalia the trajectory after the Suicide song kisha Masters and Men, the following song ni Banana Republic, the socio-political song ya tunafaa ku revolt kwa this country that constantly fucks up its people na wanafanya ubelieve hauna any choice. It ends up wakisema no voice, no choice but death. Kisha kuna a transition kwa the instrumentation into this instrumental segment before the song closes. While it's still made for a compelling song towards the end na ilikuwa engaging instrumentally, I really wished wangei close kwa hiyo point ya death because kulikuwa na a silent moment na nahisi ingekuwa na a more thought provoking ending to consider this socio-political idea that the song ina convey. So you see the flow of the album: suicide, mental health, kisha Masters and Men, things that turn a man into a monster, kisha Banana Republic, and the unification that nilikuwa na mention haipo, unaweza tell from the way nime expound on the opening of the album, na kama umesikiza najua una understand kile nazungumzia. Kisha after that ni Halo, leaning onto mapenzi na kuhisi empty kwa sababu ya kuyan for someone mwenye hayupo. It changes the trajectory of the album. So you have this sort of idea kwa the sequencing na thematic concerns za Powerslide. The midsection ya hii album intriguing, compelling na absorbing for the instrumentation and the arrangements. Nahisi hizo ndio their strong points. They have some interesting vocal deliveries that zinaku engage as well as some flourishes kwa their songwriting. Lakini ikija kwa arrangements na vile wana compose their songs, nahisi hapo ndio stronghold yao, and they really come out strongly and they make the songs have so much life. The Kid, kisha the title track, Cheshire Grin, Turn That Shit Up, and the following song, Do Something Stupid, ziko na the shrieking technique. They are darker up until Serpents in Your Heart that features Bizarro. The other feature ni kwa Monsters and Men, Lord Spikeheart. That mid section ni the most aggressive segment ya the album na it changes the tonality of the entire project. Kitu nili notice when it got to Halo ni the mastering changes. How the first 3 songs zimekuwa mastered and their levels, tukifikia kwa Halo zinabadilika and it goes lower, na that happens as well kwa Cheshire Grin. Kisha when you get to Do Something Stupid, levels zinapanda tena. So hiyo feeling ya inconsistency tunasikia pia tukikaribia mwisho. When you get to Kings and Queens, the mastering level inashuka kwa that particular song, similar to what we had earlier. Time nilifikiria it could be deliberate ni kwa the title track, Cheshire Grin, Turn That Shit Up. I'm listening to the song na nafikiria, why is this very low, as I've experienced for songs before? Then najiambia the song is called Turn That Shit Up, kwa parentheses, you should be turning this shit up, na ni feel the energy as you're singing about turning that shit up. Then tunaget kwa Do Something Stupid. The vocals are jarring, how wanna play around at the delivery. It really gets you and inakuweka in that energy that wako in from the moment inaanza, na kuna those songs that do that kwa hii album from the beginning. Ukiangalia how the Suicide song starts, it gives you time ya kubuild up. Masters and Men inaanza aggressively, so similarly Do Something Stupid, those songs that start off aggressively, alafu one of the songs that give you time to build up. When Do Something Stupid starts, hiyo ndio mood inakueka in, and so nilikuwa nasema perhaps this was deliberate for them kuweka Cheshire Grin the way they did, ndio wa turn up kwa the next song as walikuwa wanasema kwa the title track. Sijui if that was the case, but when it comes up the level is way higher than what tumetoka ku experience with those songs that have the shrieking technique na their vocals sit back in the mix. Ni songs that you have to read the lyrics, lakini kuna some expressions that unaweza capture regardless of the delivery. Do something stupid with the hard drums na the loud electric guitar riffs na melodies, their vocals on top of that, how wanaplay nazo ilinikumbusha Death Grips sana. Same delivery na dramatization kwa Serpents in Your Heart, and then I Want to Make War to You, another song that they use your technique nimemention ya kwanza na a build up kwanza, then before you know it inaanza na different melody na progression. Before you know it, the song imeswitch, imetransition to something else, na tunaenda back to that delivery that nimemention kwa those aggressive na darker songs kwa hii album. That technique works kwa their advantage. Kwa Serpents in Your Heart, they do the same thing. Actually, it could be, I'm talking about Serpents in Your Heart, juu inaanza na a melody and a chord progression that after 2 or so bars inabadilika, tuna get into the energetic and this loud instrumentation segments with the drums, the bass na lead guitar. Their chemistry throughout the album ni remarkable. Ndio maana nilisema kwa the arrangement, that is their strength. At some point inafika the instrumentation ina change na the shrieking vocals which zilikuwa zina sit back kwa the mix kwa the beginning part of the song take center stage, alafu the instrumentation unasikia the bass and the guitar going back and forth, moja ikitake center stage, then the other, then the other, and they have this sort of interaction going on. Then the last segment of the song inabadilisha the melody tena, and this technique ina work to the advantage as nimestate kwa different songs. For someone who's new into rock, this is such a lengthy review while kwa some of the songs delivery haziko compelling, kwa some of the songs delivery ni compelling na engaging. Acha nimalize nikimention how lethargic it was, ili match the tone na hisia za wimbo huo. Kisha nimeongelea their strength being their arrangements and moving from one segment of the song to another, na the chemistry kati ya the 3 members wa hii group, the drum work, the guitar work and the bass work zimefanywa in a creative and thrilling manner, no unifying narrative, but most of the songs ni absorbing. Kama umesikiza Cheshire Grin ya Powerslide, their debut, niambie comments zako kwa comment section tafadhali. Shukran sana kwa kuwa hapa na for checking this out. Ningependa sana kukuona kwa any other video under this exercise. Asante.